How's it, folks? I wanted to make a video explaining one of the more lucrative and best ways to earn XP in Starfield, which, if you clicked on the video, you should know is surveying planets. There won't be any spoilers in this video, so let's get straight into it. You won't need the survey, biology or zoology perks, as they only really allow you to scan from further away and needing to scan less plants and animals, but your valuable perk points may be better spent elsewhere, like the boost training, which allows you to use the boost pack and makes navigating significantly easier and faster, and something I would recommend getting. Otherwise, the only other perks I would recommend getting involves your weapon of choice, as you will be attacked by various wildlife. One last preparation I would recommend before venturing forth is the chemical called AMP, which is a fairly common loot drop from the beginning of the game and allows you to run faster by a significant margin, and should allow you to more efficiently reach distant points of interest while looking for planet traits or specific animals. With the prep out of the way, let's get started with the orbital view of the planet. Scan the planet to reveal its resources, and here you can also see the atmosphere, gravity and the fauna and flora you can expect to find. You can either pick a point of interest or a biome to start off with landing. Press F or the left bumper on the controller to bring out the scanner. Any resources or animals and plants highlighted in blue means you can scan it to gather survey data. Once it turns green, you have already scanned it. You can also mine the small resource nodes with your mining laser, but you will need to set up an outpost to gather resources that are underground. That would be a whole other video by itself. One quick tip about the mining laser: if you hold the left and right mouse button down at the same time, then you will mine significantly faster at the cost of draining the battery faster. Once you have scanned one of the mineral resources, you won't have to scan any more of them, but you will need to scan multiple versions of the same animal or plant to fully survey and complete that animal or plant. Sometimes large groups of animals end up killing each other, and you can scan the bodies to gather more data. Although a couple of the predators group will probably still be in the area, so be prepared for a fight. Killing predators automatically counts as scanning them, but if they die to something else, you will need to approach the body to scan it. Once you have scanned all of the animals or plants for that biome, then there will be an indicator next to the list saying the biome is complete, and you will have to move to a new biome to complete the list. The plants are relatively easy to scan, but the animals take some searching to find them. Besides the obvious big animals, there can be little critters running around in the thick grass. Using the boost pack can help to spot them from above. Then there are also airborne creatures, so make sure to look up every now and then to scan them. And finally, what is perhaps the most difficult to find involve the aquatic animals in the ocean. For these, you will need to head to a biome with coast in brackets, which will let you know that the ocean will spawn in that tile. Once you reach the ocean, then either swim in the waters if it is safe and go parallel to the coastline, or run along the coast. Every now and then, there will be a red marker showing on the watch dial with oxygen meter that will point to a nearby aquatic animal. Scan it and keep moving. I found that alternating between swimming fast and boosting, and then boosting again when your feet touch the water, makes your character do this weird floating thing but still moving pretty fast. If the water is toxic, then just run along the coastline, although you may need to run a fair distance, as you won't get to scan the fish deep in the sea if you were swimming. With the resources, plants and animals out of the way, let's talk about traits. When you first step onto a planet, there will be a couple of unknown points of interest around you. Highlight them with a scanner to identify them. The most common traits will fall under either natural, life science or anomaly. You can ignore the structures and caves and mines if you just want traits. Sometimes a planet trait will be a volcano or something similar, but if you see a rare point of interest like that, then head towards it over the others, as it is likely a planet trait. I generally identify what's likely to be a planet trait and start heading towards it as soon as I land, scanning plants and animals along the way. But if you have scanned everything else already, then use the AMP chem I mentioned earlier for the speed boost and start running. For those interested, there is a auto run, with the default being the numlock key on PC. Once you've reached the point of interest, you will need to scan the identifying features to unlock the planet trait. Don't forget, there is often a pile of rocks or a dump pile with a lot of loot inside of it. If you went to a point of interest that said natural and unlocked a planet trait, then I would recommend trying out the life science for the next trait, as it seems fungal growth is a fairly common trait on planets supporting life. Fully surveying a planet will reward you with a large amount of XP, often much more than you would get from quests, so it's a nice way to level up if you want some downtime or a break from your usual activities. And killing animals also rewards a decent amount of XP, especially when you're fighting a lot of predators. And I've yet to come across any sort of downside associated with causing a mass genocide on the local animal population. The survey data can also be sold, although I wouldn't recommend selling it to any of the normal merchants, as there are 2 characters that will buy it for significantly more. You should meet both of them in the early main story quest missions, although one of them is easy to miss, so I'll add how to find them deep in the video description so you don't accidentally spoil anything, even if it isn't really a spoiler. The first guy will buy all the data for about double what you would get for selling to normal merchants, and the second guy will pay even more. However, they have to be able to support life with a normal, breathable atmosphere. With the rest of the loot you can sell after exploring, surveying planets can earn you thousands of credits for each planet, and definitely something worth doing. I hope this video will help some of you explorers, as Starfield gets its full release tomorrow. I plan to make more Starfield guides and videos, so if you would like to see more, then clap that subscribe button. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic day, take care, and cheers for now.